is like I've met him. He's a fantastic individual. Besides everything else that he does, he's just a great guy. And so
Good people.
I'm excited about everybody meeting him and seeing what he's about. And let's go from there. Devon, you got
Devon Murray.
it. Murray,
Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me,
right?
Paul. My brother, I just met you from Liberia.
Oh
My
yeah.
brother from
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
Uganda.
much.
You know, we got
Ghana,
we
we
got
all
a
in the same
national
thing.
type of
Right, yeah.
vibe right here
Yeah, man,
today.
definitely. Rasta man,
We're
you know what I mean?
international.
Caribbean thing. You see
Rasta
me?
man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, man, get everything I remember. Best of the people, man, give them something to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go.
I like
You
that.
listen to
The
it real
accent
good.
I come from the man.
Ah.
The Riri accent I come from the man.
I love it. Love it. Do you need me to help you?
No.
You want
Nah,
me to
he
help you?
good.
No, we good.
No,
We're good?
Look, the wheel could actually bend even further down.
I
So
got it.
take that wheel and you can angle it in any angle.
It's good. We're good.
Yo, so but we happy to have you here. Here, take this one. You having technical difficulties. Pass this to him.
I'll give
No,
it
we
to
got
him.
it.
It's good. It's good. We got it.
Yeah, he trying to let his people know where he at. He
Wow.
is in the building. KBOB 89.9 FM,
Yeah.
North Tulsa,
Right.
here on Negro Nights. All right, man. So Devon, I got a little quick rundown about you and Paul. You know what I mean? How you met him through some networking and whatnot. But before we get into that, we have to, pay reverence to the date, the time, the hour where we living in. 100-year anniversary, Black Wall Street,
Amen.
right?
Definitely.
May 31st.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And so we have experienced the Black Wall Street Festival this past weekend, right? Oh, what's good? Can't hear yourself too good.
Right.
So we experienced the Black Wall Street Festival this weekend. And did you get a chance to
I did.
okay.
I did.
How did that go for you?
Well, I actually stumbled upon it, actually, really. A friend of mine was a vendor or is a vendor there,
Mhm.
and I went to pick something up. And that's how I realized we were having stuff, honestly.
Right.
So I really think a
So
lack
you
of...
didn't get promotion.
No, no,
It didn't reach you, your
Uh-uh.
radar, your circle.
no. And I'm on
Okay.
social media, so... And I knew this was a nationally televised event, and all of Eyes of America was on us.
Mhm.
So I think they did a very poor job in
Promoting
disseminating
it.
that information to the community,
Right. Promoting it.
because
Right.
a lot of people that were there, even some of the journalists that were
Mhm.
there, didn't even know what was going on. So yeah. But hey, good for us, good for everything. Recognition, our recognition is good recognition, depending on the perspective. So yeah.
So I think what I'm getting for you right now is you didn't know the Legacy Fest was going on, but had you heard about the John Legend concert that was supposed to happen?
No.
Okay.
I
So-
heard about that when it was canceled.
You heard about it when it was canceled.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out to everybody. I thought it was the only thing that was happening. And so I was like, no, we got to have something going on.
Uh-huh.
And actually, I tagged you in a post and I'm like, if John Legend ain't coming, if they don't want us, we don't want them. Let's create something for our own. I didn't know that
Yeah.
there was a Legacy Festival coming on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that mixed messaging was
Right.
not good.
Right.
Yeah, you both you guys should have known about this Legacy Fest.
We should have.
But you didn't get the message.
Not at all.
Okay, so the word has not been spread as good as it could have been, right? So that's
No.
something definitely to know for next go round. So
Absolutely.
I didn't know about the John Legend thing until the tickets were sold as well either.
Right.
Or they were I guess free tickets, but they were all gone.
Right.
And so I knew about it after tickets were gone, but before the event was canceled.
Right.
And so I was kind of staying away for the most part because I thought that seemed as if it was a celebration.
Right.
Yeah. And so since it looked like it was like a celebration, I'm like, is celebration the right thing we should be doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Around the time of the massacre. You know what I mean? A celebration. Now, the Legacy Fest, Black Wall Street Legacy. I get that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I that made more sense to me as something that, okay, I see why people will go there. I see why people will partake in the Legacy Fest, because the legacy of Black Wall Street is the greatness of Black Wall Street. The prominence, what Black Wall Street stood for. You
Right.
know what I mean? Black owned businesses. And that's why you're here on today, because you're a Black man who's a business owner and you work in corporate America, in the business world.
Right.
And so Black Wall Street having to do with Black owned businesses, and that's the legacy that we want to revive.
Right.
You know what I
Right
mean?
on.
Right.
And so, commemorating 100 years of the massacre, I don't think that's not a good selling point. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
You know what I mean? Let's commemorate 100 years from when, 1906, when Black Wall Street was founded.
Right.
When O.W. Gurley bought the land, sold some to, he said he's only selling to Black people.
Right.
Right.
And he created the Negro Wall Street. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so if we, but we already passed that date. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was going to be 2006.
Right.
So we already passed that. So we missed that because nobody was thinking about the greatness of Black Wall Street versus the destruction of Black Wall Street.
So what do you think we should be focusing on, the greatness or the destruction?
What do I think we should be focusing on? Listen here. I'm asking you the questions here on Negro Nights.
Hey,
But I'll answer your question.
All right, let's go there. Hey,
No,
Devon, what do you
like
think we should be focusing on?
I think we should be focusing on growth and amalgamation of people. I
There
mean, yeah,
you go.
we had a separation 100 years ago,
Right.
but I really think if we're partisan in our celebrations and the way we think and all that, we still would be 100 years behind. So I think we should be focusing
Rewind, slow down. If we do what with our thinking?
if we focus on partisan celebration, subjective. This is just this us. I mean, yeah, we still will not move the meter in much because again, the same perception of how
You said
people are-
partisan?
yeah.
So you're talking political then.
Well, I mean, everything is political. If you want to think about, it's just a matter of perspective.
A lot of people who are at these celebrations aren't political minded people, and
No,
some
they're
of them don't even vote. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so when you say everything's political, I understand what you're saying as far as movements and who's backing who and who's going to use this to further their agenda. And so everything can be politicized. But on an individual basis, the minds of the people, when you go and you talk to these people, you know what I mean, especially the younger ones, you know what I mean, they don't have a fervor, a love, a reverence for politics when we see the results. So
I think that's because they don't have.
you need to talk to me else.
Can you hear me?
Look,
I think that's because they don't have direction behind the fervor, right? Like anything can be political, right? But political is not bad. It's not good. It's just a statement and saying, hey, this is a political spectrum. So if we say that, hey, this is what we're going forward with, then maybe those people that are on the fringe, on the sidelines, they can jump along with us.
us who? People in politics?
Yes.
Devon,
Because
look here.
understand, politics changes the game.
We're gonna get with Mr. Devon Murray
All right.
right here on Negro Nights.
KBOB, yeah.
89.9.
Right.
And so you're saying the partying will be partisan without partisan party. So who was to decide like who's invited, who's not invited? Did people? So if you're say partisan partying, what party was holding this event then?
Right. So when I say being partisan and I say everything is political, sure, it's a matter of perspective. So just like I agree with you when you're saying, things can get corporately politicized, and everything. I do believe everything is down to the individual. Now, if you go take a head count of people individually, yeah, a lot of people are focused on other things. I'm out to see my girl, hey, kind of type deal. But with a greater intelligence, one would know that something of this magnitude, the powers that be. I mean, yeah, the individuals, the if you want to look at it as a business perspective, let's say the technicians, the people at the lowest, the people are coming out to enjoy that. Most people, I believe, don't even care about the politics behind it. But I really believe, anything to this magnitude where, the eyes of the nation is going to be on us, and people who that's their lifelong goal. That's my career. I'm in politics. Yeah, of course. Subliminally, propaganda is going to be spread. And I really do believe when that happens, which happens all the time, regardless if not, we're here. People could take this or misconstrue or encode what we're doing here. Oh, okay, they're doing this,
further
agenda for an agenda, So, and we're here just empowering Black people, just bringing information to people. So I really believe,
but that is an agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's perspective, and that's what I've been driving from the get-go. This is all a matter of perspective, how an individual perceives things, about where we're going with all of this stuff here. So definitely.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate that breakdown. Man. So
Right.
What do you think about the future of Black Wall Street now? But first, before I get into that, I think we need to go back to finding out more about this guy here.
Right?
Yeah. Get into him a little bit, man. Let's see who is this
find
guy.
out who he is.
Who is this guy telling us about Black Wall Street?
Right on.
Partisan parties and about the bigger picture that most people don't see because they're not looking from the top down.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go there. So, who is Devon?
A simple human that's existing amongst other humans that are always trying to make everyone who that comes in contact with him a better person,
right?
And hope to make them a better person. Just trying to change the world, each relationship at a time.
What's the story? When did you come to the United States? Why Oklahoma? If you stayed, I know you've stayed in Oklahoma for a while. Okay. Why?
Family.
Okay, he said you asked him 12 questions.
Right on.
So let me slow it down. When did you get to the U.S.?
2005.
2005.
Right.
2005. Don't be drinking all that water, man.
2005.
Yeah. So you came here 2005
for school.
Okay.
Yeah.
To go to school for what?
I came to get my master's degree originally. Yeah, in kinesiology.
In what?
Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. I have no idea.
Study of the human body, muscles, mechanics, all that cool stuff. Yeah.
Kinetics.
Yeah.
Kinesiology.
Right on.
Study of the human body
and its movements. Yeah.
What drew you to that?
I've always been involved in sports all my life. Just being a very athletic, involved person, human, and some of my mentors. People that I really hang on to every word they say. That's the field we're in, and I thought they were just the coolest people in the world. And I said, you know what? There goes the blueprint. That's what I want to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Because those are the people you looked up to. So kinesiology, study of the body, the movements, athleticism, and you were always an athlete. What sports?
Soccer. Football. From Jamaica, we say football.
No, you said soccer. So you already disrespected the game.
Hey, you know what? That's right. You're right. I'm not gonna,
already disrespected the game, my man.
The propaganda got me. You see that? Yeah, right.
You hear it now.
But I'm trying to say it that way for the masses that are encoding it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I say football, they're gonna think, is he a quarterback?
Is the masses? The masses around the world say football. Soccer is American thing.
Right, but I'm thinking we're here broadcasting to American.
We're on Facebook Live, man.
Right on.
And we on online right here too.
Right.
So you worldwide, man.
I'm gonna say football then. All right, football. Yeah.
All right, man. So you've been playing football. You've been doing these things, and you came to the U.S. You decided that you wanted to get your master's.
Right.
And what school was on your mind when you came here?
The one that gave me a scholarship, Northeastern State.
Okay. Was that NSU?
Yeah.
Okay. Tahlequah.
Right.
And how was it?
Wonderful. I was an older man when I came here. I already finished school back home. I had a degree from back home. So the American mid freshman 15, whatever that is, the hell that is. I don't even know what that was. But I was more focused on what I wanted to do because I've already, walked that road. So I was able to navigate studying and partying and doing all the, having the best of all the world. So it was pretty fun. Tahlequah is a really nice place. I met my the mother of my child there.
Mhm.
So I really have fun memories of Tahlequah. Yeah, sure. And
Okay.
Northeastern State is a really good school too. Great professors and stuff, for sure.
So you came and went straight there.
Right.
Okay, all right. And how many years you spent in Tahlequah?
In Tahlequah, 6 years.
6 years.
5 in school, 3 undergrad, 2 grads, postgrad, and 1 just working.
All right. Are you working in the field of your degree?
No.
So what was like, okay, so it was an experience.
It's an experience, yeah.
Valuable nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. 100%.
Got you a beautiful child out of the
Amazing.
deal.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah.
So now you leave Tahlequah.
Mhm.
You decide you need to come to the great city of Tulsa.
Okay.
Was that was that next, or did you go to where did you go next?
Yeah, that was just, yeah.
See, you know how you see how I be knowing things.
But hey, you just listen. You know what?
Yeah.
Where's that lamp you got, man? That genie or something. This guy's
it's
reading
right
my
here,
mind.
man.
Uh-huh.
So you
Mhm.
come to Tulsa. You like, okay, I know that I'm going to use this kinetics degree in Tulsa.
No. No. I came to Tulsa because I outgrew Tahlequah. Yeah, I outgrew Tahlequah.
Big man on campus.
Well, you sure? I would take that if you want to say that. But I outgrew Tahlequah with I just needed more. I know there's more to the world, and I'm from where there's more.
Yeah.
So I needed that. I needed to do that for me and for my family, which is my daughter. So I needed to experience things so I could bring that back to her because I needed to prepare her for adult years. I needed to teach her more adult things younger, so she thus preparing her for the bigger portion of her life as being an adult. So yeah, that's work, job, experience, everything. I moved to Tulsa for that. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And what field are you working in now?
Well, actually, I'm a businessman. I run 2 businesses. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you when you say you run 2 businesses, do you own both of them?
Yes, I do.
And you those are the only income you have coming in. Like you don't work for anybody else. All right.
I used to work with Tulsa Public Schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
For how long?
10 years.
10 years TPS. All right. And now you are an entrepreneur. We talking about Black history, Black legacy, Black Wall Street,
Black owned.
Black owned and operated.
There you go.
Black funded.
Yep.
There you
100%.
go, man. I love it, man. I love it. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that.
And we're looking to employ Black people too.
There you go.
Everyone though, really.
Yeah.
But
definitely, because we got to take care of us.
there you go.
That's the motto, man. So now let's talk about these businesses. What gave you the vision to start the business that you started?
Just life experiences.
Name the business.
Well, I own and operate an insurance brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. And I run a trucking business too.
Mm-hmm.
So both were inspired by just life experiences, being around people with the knowledge and mindset of how these businesses run. And then just being opportunity minded as an individual. And I needed more and I wanted to do more, not only for myself, but people whom I come in contact with. And I realized my docile job, love teaching. Hey, let me say that. Love it. Met a lot of great people. But I really feel like teachers are a dying breed. They're really good people. I think it's the way. I just think the availability of information. I'm speaking about my experiences.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Is now forcing intelligent thinkers as teachers to think, okay, I'm doing a great service here, but something is not adding up because we have families to feed, and if you are, I don't know, I'm not a easily comfortable person. And I like growing, and I love nice things. I like doing nice things, and I like experiencing nice things. And I could not do that on a teaching salary. You know what I mean? So I had to do more for myself. So
and
that's
you already had a kid at this time.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know? and she's a diva too, and she likes nice things. Which is right. Which is right. That's okay. That's good. Yeah. I wanted to like nice things, and I guess that's just a part of her blood. So I needed to do more. I was introduced to one of my business by a great friend of mine. His name is Kevin Richards. I hope you're watching, Kevin.
Kevin Richards.
Island Mind too. You know what I mean? Island Mind. So yeah, we're just hanging out, and I needed to do more. And I think what you think about, you bring about. I'm a firm believer in that.
What you think about, you bring about.
Definitely.
The power of the mind.
There you go. And energy. You know, I really believe the universe would bring you what you need. Once you put the energy, mental energy or physical energy in doing that, it's going to bring you what you want. So I was introduced to the business by my great friend Kevin Richards 5 years ago. I started my business, my insurance business, and I'm now the regional vice president of my brokerage. So, you know, that's going well. And my trucking business, I started because of COVID. It's at my house.
So that's fresh. That's new.
That's new.
So how long did you have the other business?
Which one?
The one your friend introduced you to.
Before my new business? 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Right. So during COVID, you know, just sitting down, just talking to a friend. Oh, you know, I'm always opportunity minded. I like to make money. You know, I got a diva. She's a princess. She likes nice things. So I had to make money for her. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to leave something for her. That's her.
Building generational wealth.
There you go.
Leaving a family legacy.
Right. But that's intellectual though. Like all the money in the world, if you don't leave an intellectual property to take care of, that's gone. So that's the legacy I want to leave for my child. A true intellectual property, intellectual legacy. That's it.
Because she can continue to build.
There you go. I'll continue. Yeah. So, you know, and I knew about, you know, the trucking business, the trucking industry a long time ago before here as well. So just coming here and being around people who are able to make that happen in terms of, you know, employees that I needed. You know, I was able to just get that going.
So what interests you in the trucking industry?
Money. I'm gonna lie to you, bro.
You just not passionate about importing and exporting?
No. Not at all.
Funds and the finances that could come you got a diva, like you said. So that's one reason that you need money. What are some of the other you know, pressure points or power points that led you to say, hey, this is a good thing for money. I need money for X, Y, and Z. What do you need money for?
Everything. In my world, everything. And I know a lot of people.
Well, I know everything costs money, but what do you need? Like when you say you need more, to do what? More
to bless others. You know, I have a list, a to-do list every day, and on top of that list is helping someone. And I really believe, you know, you could help them, you could bless them, you know, in that way. A lot of times people are lacking in money. I'm just focusing on that because that's what we're talking about. So I do believe if I have the means to help someone, you know, with a meal, or you know, my kid needs this, or I need to fix my house or something. You know, I have lots of people that depend on me, and I know a lot of things that depend on me for is money. You know, monetary things.
Okay.
So yeah,
I want to ask you, because when you talk about, you know, kind of philanthropic endeavors, giving back, blessing somebody, I want to ask you, how much have you evaluated the, what's the word I'm looking for here? The response from giving X number of dollars to somebody to like move them from one situation to the next. Is money always the best thing that you can give somebody? Like when you just talked about legacy with your daughter, you talked about intellectual property. And so now these people who you want to help advance, now I know if you're helping a stranger who's on the street and you only have but a brief interaction with them, so you don't have time to impart a whole dictation of wisdom upon them that people aren't going to just digest it all at one sitting, you know what I mean? Or standing at the gas pump or whatever. And so you're going to have time to really feed into that person, but you don't have that. So is money the best option for that situation? Or do you give like, hey, reach out to me later on and we can have a cup of coffee, we can talk, we can build a relationship? What are the options for different scenarios for you?
Great. So I'm glad that you asked that. It just depends, like you said, depends on the situation. Not all the time is money. but I just use money because we're talking about money at that point.
Yes.
So
yes.
I don't. I'm not a bank. Let me tell you what. I'm not a bank.
Devon Murray, he's helping people financially. Right here on KBOB 89.9.
I'm not a bank, but yeah, it just depends situational. You know, sometimes a kind word might be a meal, it might be a hug, it might be, you know, it's just sit here with me. It just depends. So you know, it just depends on how you bless people, and the response for me, what do I get out of that, is always the same. Just helping someone. It doesn't matter if I gave them $100, $1,000, or I bought a meal for them, or I gave them a ride or something. For me, it's coming from it's motivated by the same thing. Always, just the genuine need to help.
Okay,
and that's it. Nothing else.
Now I've been to a level where I extend myself to help, right? And I've been told by people who care about me to put protection barriers around myself, right? To what level do you protect yourself in while trying to still be that giving person, that kind-hearted person, to be there for people?
Okay, so let me say this. No one is immune to anything. Because 4 days ago, I was robbed. You know, like so much shit out of my car. My car.
Okay, wait. Yeah. Rob, let me tell you, Rob, carrying away personal property of another in their immediate presence against their will by either force or fear through the use of a loaded firearm. Were you present then, or they broke into your car?
They broke into my car.
Okay, okay.
I got something. So yeah,
they broke into your car. I said breaking. You got vandalized, breaking and entering. Okay, robbery. You got to be on the scene in person.
Right on. Thanks for the correction.
Yeah, I'm a paralegal. You don't know my whole story, but I had 121 years in prison. That's what the 121 come from. Negro Spirituals is about freedom. You know what I mean? I had to get in the law library, get to my freedom.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I know that for a reason. Everybody don't know that King gonna recite you the elements of the crime of robbery unless they had to fight different charges and they were in there doing the work, the homework, right? So I just wanted to make sure if they ran up on you, because you look like you take care of yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't scratch your nose without making a muscle.
Right. Yeah, I mean, don't get it twisted. Don't even try it. You know what I mean? But yeah. We stay strapped with, everything. Play with that. You know what I mean?
You gotta protect yourself.
There we go.
You open carry, Wild West. So,
if I was present, none of those things would be missing.
All right, there you go.
All right, someone else would be missing. I don't know, but that's not a story. But yeah. So again, even nobody's immune.
True story.
So the question again was how? Come again.
The question is, how do you protect yourself?
Right.
To the levels and extent of, you know what I mean, while you're trying to do good,
right. Not
get taken advantage of, get abused and whatnot.
Right. So I mean, hey, listen, for me, to each his own, to thine own self be true. I believe that. So let's use this scenario. If let's say I'm walking down the street, a homeless guy or whatever, not even be homeless, this is next human. And let's say we know the scenario is this human is a drug addict. Let's say that, right?
Okay.
We know that. Okay. Hey, can I have some money? Here you go, $10. Now, most people would say, that guy's a drug addict. He's gonna go buy crack, whatever the case may be. Sure, that's up to him. But I did my diligence. I gave you help from a kind place.
Yeah.
Now, what you intend to do with that, that's up to you. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody
you can't
goes
control anybody.
Here you go. I'm providing the environment for growth. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to grow? That's up to you. Whatever you do with that information or whatever I do for you, that's on you. But in my world, I am doing my due diligence, which is helping another human, because I want that to be reciprocal if I was in that position.
True story.
Right. So I try not to think about protecting myself because I try to see the positive in everything. So again, what you think about, you bring about. If I'm thinking about protecting myself, then I will do stuff with apprehension.
Yeah.
And I don't. I give off myself. Now, you got
to have a level of vulnerability so that you can be the kind person that you're that's in your soul and your spirit.
So you could experience the emotions that that person is receiving while you're helping, because you're in that same vulnerable state as they are, right? Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, man, because fear blocks a lot of blessings,
Right.
right? Fear blocks us from the blessings that are set in front of us for our success. But if you're too afraid to take that leap, then you're not going to be successful. So I'm using that same terminology in a different area. You know what I mean? In a different scenario. And I totally get it, man, because you have to open yourself up to vulnerability. You have to be willing to fail or willing to get cheated or willing to do this to make it to the next level, do these good things. So I see what you're saying, man. And it's powerful for people to understand that there's strength in the vulnerability.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when people say they're vulnerable, they usually look at that as negative or weakness, but there's actually strength in there because you know there's greatness that you're leading towards.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, and so you got into the trucking industry, but insurance, what type of insurance do you cover?
Mainly life. I do everything, but I do life and investments.
Life and investments.
So I believe in, protecting you against living too long or dying too soon.
Protecting you against living too long. Is that a thing?
Yeah, living too long or dying too soon. You see,
I know dying too soon.
Let me see. Okay, let's see people who live too long. Now, let's give you an example. So you see people at Walmart, they're greeters. Like, welcome, blah, 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 blah. These are people who had great jobs. They're your firemen, your retired teachers, or postmistresses, or stuff like that. Simple. The reason why they're doing that, they have no money. They got no money. They retired too quickly, and they never had enough to retire once they had to go back to work. Yeah. So I set up retirement accounts, Roth IRAs, 401ks. I do that. I'm a Series 626 licensed person. I do that for people. So when I say protect you against living too long, so I catch you whenever. Okay. Hopefully early. Yeah. Give you the information for you to make that choice yourself. So let's say I get you into a Roth. Boom, 40 years of working. Let's say you were putting away X amount on a compounding interest rate. When you retire, you have something to retire on. When you retire, you thinking of a specific age? Is that 67 now? Right. So when somebody's 67 years old, then they're going to start living their life. Right. So that's don't say right. When I say right, I'm only agreeing because that's the status quo. That's what that's the propaganda that a lot of people take and encode, and that's what they do. So I'm going with that. I believe retirement is just a matter of assets. What if you have enough to retire now, you're going to stop. You have enough money right now, you're not going to. If it's this your passion, you want to do this for free, you come back and sit around this mic and talk. But if you have enough money or whatever assets, whatever that is looks like to you, and you realize you feel like, I don't need to get out of bed, or I don't need to go grind or hustle or get a job or work or whatever you call it to provide for myself, but then you're retired. It's but a lot of people are fed the narrative or the propaganda. Hey, 40 years of working, retiring, and that leaves them like 65. They go to college, 21, your first degree, and then you start working for another 40 years. Or some people, do what they do for couple of years before that. And if you look at the 40-year cycle, it's like 61, 62. So again, that's the retirement. And most people that I sit with, that's what they say. I want to retire at this age, because that's what they think. That's a hereditary thing. My mom did that. My grandparents. That's what I want to know. Did they think, or did they? Right. It's a hereditary thing. That's what my parents did, and everybody around me that I know, that's what they did. So again, that that retirement age, instead of you working at. And let me say this, working at Walmart, being a greeter, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let me say that. Okay. I hear you. Let me just put that as a disclaimer. You're working an honest day's living. Right. Yeah. Right. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm sure if we had a choice, we wouldn't do that. Right. If we had a choice, we would not do that. In your golden age, in your golden years. We want Mai Tais and Sun. Yes. There we go. And a little karaoke and bowling, right? So I'm here to provide endless karaoke and bowling for people. If they sit with me, I'll be able to do that for you. Yeah. Let me sit with you and put together a plan that helps you do that. That's what I do with my client for long term. Okay. Short term, obviously, life insurance. If If you die too soon, your family needs to be protected because
Mm-hmm.
all you are, other than being a great dad or mom or a great human, okay, let me say that, a great human, all you are to your beneficiaries or people who depend on you, you're a paycheck.
Okay,
If you pass away, that's gone. So you want to make sure that if and when you pass away, because the last time I checked, the mortality rate in Tulsa and in the world is 100%, right?
Last time you checked, I'm gonna go with your statistics.
Yeah,
I haven't checked on it, but I believe you.
100%.
Right.
So
100%.
At some point we're going.
Mm-hmm.
But we can decide how, what we leave behind and how we could contribute to that, and I'm sure if and when we go, we would love the people that depend on us, their quality of life to A, remain the same, or B, be better. So that's where I come in to show you how to do that. Yeah.
Wow, that's some important stuff, man, because like you said, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like you would get into the final ceremony business as well.
The final ceremony?
Mm-hmm. The sending off.
No, that's for a pastor in a morgue and all that kind of. No, I'm the guy that's coming with a check and saying, "I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, here's $500,000.
Yeah.
How would you receive me now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, instead of coming with flowers in one, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm coming with flowers too, but I'm coming to $500,000.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, money takes care of a lot of things.
A little bit of cushion. That's a little cushion to help you get through the hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, man, and that's very necessary for the people.
Absolutely.
For real.
And that's how you develop generational wealth as well. Because if my dad passed away and he left me $500,000, okay, I'm $500,000 better than my compadres.
Yeah.
Right. So and I'm probably on third base now, and I have that intellectual property or knowledge to know, okay, this is something you need to teach. You need to teach your that's something that's discussed.
Yeah.
Around eating, hanging out with your kids, your family, or whatever the case may be. Then you could perpetuate that mindset instead of, okay, we need to go get a job, and work for someone that would, hey, listen, lots of choices, but try to create something.
You see, I've been saying this recently because my parents and their sibling or the people in their age group, what's happened?
Charger.
Look at that red cord. That should be one. That you got that's an iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you plugged up?
I'm an Android.
Oh, okay. Well, my but people in their age group, they come from the get a good job narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Is that it? You know what I mean? Is that what can we say to that? You know what I mean? Because I think now that this day and age, people are not really looking for that. they're looking to build and start their own,
right? To
really create legacy. And so, what can you do what do you say to, or how do you prepare somebody who is going to receive that type of influx of cash from, somebody passing on? Let's say you do receive $500,000.
Right.
Do you have the mental capacity to deal with that? Are you going to blow it all? What you going to do?
Okay, let me say this to everyone that's listening right now. Okay, so if you have no knowledge of money, which people think is a big secret, find someone who knows, a trusted person. There's nothing wrong with that. What's embarrassing is you getting $500,000 and next week you're broke.
Yeah.
Everybody's worried about stimulus. Like, people are reading the news because profused. I want to see the news. There's a fourth stimulus check coming. Okay, you got 3 before, and there's a reason why you're looking for a fourth one.
Yeah, you're not good with money.
There you go. So my thing is educate yourself. Educate yourself as to how money works.
Yeah, because
that's important. Because everything that in and of itself that we're trying to enjoy, existing, takes money. And people say, "Oh, you just all about money, Deb." Okay, are you not?
This microphone costs money,
right? Laptop, money is the root of all evil. Okay, put a bunch of evil in my bank account.
See, when people get that phrase all the way twisted, because it's the love of money is the root of all evil. And so when they say that, I know that they're not really tapping in. You know what I mean? Because
and that's where the problem is, because they're not tapped in. We're tapped in, but depending on what we're tapped into.
you tapped into the wrong thing.
Because life's about choices.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that I have this information and I'm
Mhm.
existing in the same era,
Time and space as
you could as well.
Mhm.
So it's what you think about, you
Mhm.
bring about again. I love
Yeah.
that's my thing. You know, that's what I live my life by.
What you
So
think
what you
about
focus on,
yeah.
you're gonna get.
Mhm.
You know, so if you're focused on Twitter or focused on TikTok, I
Mhm.
mean, you're gonna get a bunch of TikTok friends, but why can't we? You could. There are millionaires
Some
on TikTok.
people, you know, what
There
I
are
mean?
millionaires on TikTok
Mhm.
from TikTok. Now again, because again,
They
that's what
focused on getting the money.
getting the money. You're focused on getting the likes and the
Mhm.
views and all and the great, nice job, great. If that's what you want, sure. But how do you prepare? Like I said, like go back to the question: how do you prepare someone for that?
Mhm.
Education. You know, you got to educate people, give them the information they need to be able to manifest these things.
When you worked at Tulsa Public Schools, what you were a teacher,
Mhm.
and what were you teaching?
Jim.
You're teaching gym.
Mhm.
Okay, so how was your gym class? How did your gym class go? What am I going to get out of Mr. Murray's gym class?
Fun, and you're gonna learn something. You're gonna life. It's life skills, man.
Okay.
Because gym is supposed to be fun. You know, it's physical grinding, and it's not only the physical grinding, but it's the mental side of it. Because when I'm teaching sports, you know, like all the goats, the Tom Brady's, the LeBron James, the Lionel Messi's, the Cristiano Ronaldo's, whoever you think your goat is, there's some sort of intellectual power behind them. Even if they're naturally gifted, in and of itself of that natural gift is the intellectual power
True,
behind it.
True.
So they're not just running out here and just running by people and doing these amazing things without any brain power.
Yeah, you
So
can not just because you can run fast like Forrest Gump.
Mhm.
You seen them Forrest Gump
Right, yeah.
run it. You got to know where you're going. You
There you
got to
go.
know when to stop.
Right,
You got to know.
right.
Yeah.
So I tend to develop that in a subliminal way for my kids, because no kid wants to come to gym class and get a book out. No. I amalgamate technology
Mhm.
through use of discussion and all that kind of stuff. So kids get everything. Well, I try to make sure they're exposed
Mhm.
to the tools they need to live, because I believe, because I live my life like it's a giant gym class anyways. You know, I like to have fun.
Okay.
So I'm trying, you know, one of the things that I try to make my kids know, it's okay to have fun. There's nothing wrong with, living your life like it's in a gym class. Most of the people that you're following on social media are athletes anyways.
True.
And even if they're a movie star, they're having wild parties and living it. You could do the same thing, but, you know, do that responsibly, or if you don't want to do that, that's up to you. But when you come to my gym class, it's
here on KBOB 89.9. You're gonna do it responsibly. We're not gonna just say it's up to you. No, do it.
I would love for you to do
tell
that.
them the facts.
Yeah, do it responsibly.
There you
Absolutely,
go.
100%.
Tell them what to do.
100%.
We don't win. This
Right.
is black on black community radio. We telling them how it is.
Right on.
Okay.
Straight up. Yeah. So that's you're coming to gain a life experience, and this is not just cap. This is not cap. This is 100%. I've seen some of my former students online right now watching. They could type in and refute that if
they want to call 918-856-3873.
Yeah.
There you go. Call in.
Yeah.
Get on Mr. Murray. Talk
Yeah, if
about
I'm capping, say straight cap.
What was going on in his class?
Right. And I coach as well. I coach as well, and that's it. Because I do believe the way you do some things is the way you do most things. And I do believe a lot of people struggle with life because their individual relationships are horrible. So let's say I'm a businessman, right? And let's say if we're doing business, you and I realize beforehand, I'm privy to information that you're not a good husband or partner, whatever age tools of your partner is. I probably might not do business with you.
Okay.
Because
of their personal relationship.
Because again, every relationships are the same. Parts of it might be different. Okay. If I'm your brother and I love you, I love you. I love you the same. I love my wife, but we're not having sexual intercourse. And I love you, and I love you that way because if I want you to, if I want to treat you as a human, how a human should be treated. If I'm going to treat that human that way that I love, love has no bias.
Love has no bias.
Right. So if I'm gonna love her unconditionally as my partner, I love my brother the same, minus the intercourse, right? You think, yeah. So again, if you cannot do that and make that horizontal in your life, I really believe you'll struggle in other areas.
Okay.
Because the way you do some things is the way you do most things.
But now you can love this person and you can love your wife. And what if this person's wife, you don't know the relationship or what she got going on? Because everybody in all these three people, none of them are perfect.
No.
So you don't know if they have an issue going on in their marriage. I don't know if you ever been married, but marriage can get crazy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you never know who's really the cause of the marriage breaking down.
Right. So for that, I say, we have to learn to exhibit a greater emotional stability, emotional fitness. Being in charge of that's you. That's nobody else. That's you.
True story.
So, and again, we're fallible beings. Nobody's perfect. No relationships are perfect. But again, it comes back to the way you deal with those adversities.
Yeah.
Because the same problems you might have in your personal life, you might have that in your business too. Just a different type of scenario, but it's still a problem.
Yeah.
And the way you handle that problem personally is probably the same way you might handle your business problems. Yeah, because problems are problems. All sin is spelled S-I-N. All lies spelled I-E. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. But again, it's about emotional fitness. Yeah, how you deal with different scenarios. It could be raining and the ceiling could be caving in, and I'm sitting here just talking to you, calm, and you'd be frantic over there, like, "Oh my God, this space is turning. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's the ceiling falling, guys." Okay. So again, being able to be in charge of one's emotions.
Yeah.
That's something an individual has to learn how to develop and grow in that area.
Being in charge of your emotions is very important. Now, if the ceiling is falling, I hope you would be a little bit more than okay, the ceiling's
right. I mean, I'm just giving an example of just chaos. There's a reason why they're captains and they're lieutenants and sergeants and just people. There we go, to handle pressure. Different scenario stuff. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, yeah.
Man, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. So, Black Wall Street. 100 years later, you know about building businesses. You've done this yourself time and time again, right? So now, Black Wall Street, and we talk about 100 years later in the next 100 years, rebuilding, moving forward. What is your intuition tell you? What is your business sense tell you? What can you tell people to see? What people really want to see? People want to see a thriving Black Wall Street. What can you give them? You know what I mean? That can help in that direction.
Okay, so let me say this. I'm a Jamaican.
You black.
And I heard about the Black Wall Street race riot and all that, like everyone else. Word of mouth, reading myself and all that. And we already know that. Let's how are we going to go forward now? What do I hope happen going forward? Or
no, not hope. How to make it happen?
How to make it happen? We got to reach across the aisle. It's
what aisle?
Other tribes.
Tribes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to use the word tribe.
I'm with you.
Right. So we could do it internally from our tribe, but I do believe in all tribes. There's a sense of selfishness that takes individuals because it's a human thing, right?
Now, when you say other tribes, we're talking about rebuilding Black Wall Street. Now, Black people, like my man Bobby say, we come in a bouquet of flowers, all different shades, all different types of Black people. You got Liberian. If they stand me and you next to each other, they don't know what country we from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you say other tribes, you mean Jamaican Black, Liberian Black, Ugandan Black, Nigerian Black, or are you talking about, when you say other tribes, are you talking about not just Black, are you talking about Native American, you talking about Caucasian, you talking about Irish? What are you talking about?
Right, absolutely. So Native American, Asian.
I'm listening.
Caucasian people.
I'm listening.
So we have to learn to amalgamate. Like no man is an island. You can't do everything by yourself. You can, but I mean, I don't know how enjoyable that would be. I mean, it can. It depends on the individual, but we have to learn to reach across the aisle and get ideas from other thriving tribes.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to grow organically too, because in and off our tribe, there's lots of wonderful people, amazing, world class. Here on Black Wall Street too, I'm sure there's a lot. So if we have to learn to respect self to begin with, and I think a lack of respect for self, is an Achilles heel to the human, right? And when I say lack of respect for self, we know there's 750,000 words in the English language.
Okay.
3/4 of those are demeaning words. So it's easier to pick from those things when we talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
So love of self, respecting self. Once we could respect self, then we could respect the other person that looks like us.
True.
Across the street or across that or whatever the case may be. So when we start attacking stuff from a personal point, we start growing from within, then we could grow together as a group. Now, I believe that's the way forward. Learning to respect self first. Because I have a lot of friends in my community. When I say my community, I'm talking about my soccer community. And these are all my brothers from Africa, and our brothers from Asia that plays with me, right? And we argue all the time. When I say argue, I mean like straight up 5 minutes, let's stop. We're gonna argue for 10. Okay, about the simplest things. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I think,
is it arguing or is it debating? Heated debate.
No. A debate is objective. Arguing is subjective. This is what I know. You're not going to tell me anything else. And I really believe when I, being a third party to a lot of those individual, skirmishes or whatever, I really see a lack of respect for self. And that's where it drives from. Because if you respect self, then the person that's across from you that's telling you the same thing that you're arguing about, okay, cool, I will listen. The reason why I say that is, and this is sad. If you notice, I stopped because this is sad.
You have to take it in a second. Yeah.
And I don't like that. You know what? I see people from my tribe arguing, and there's someone from another tribe that steps in and say, "Hey, da 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 da," stops. And it's the same thing that you're bringing from the.
I said, look, I'm an activist, right?
Right.
And I started my nonprofit 2015. I'm going to the city council meetings. We're telling them this is wrong. We're telling them blah, blah, blah. This. I'm going to give you, because what you're saying, I know exactly what you're saying. You just don't know how to get it out. And you said what you think about is what you bring about. You know what I mean? And so that's something that I can adopt I'm going to give you this. I go over there in we're at the city council meeting and we're explaining to them 2 + 2 = 4.
Right.
And they're like, I don't know. I'm not sure. White person comes up, they say, hey, did you know 1 + 3 =? Oh my gosh!
Right.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, I know exactly what you're saying, and I know that's a lack of respect for self.
That's what you're saying.
I don't like what I see in the mirror when I get up in the mornings because I'm not proud of that, and a lot of that comes from the encoding of the propaganda that's being spread.
Yeah.
And I really want Black people or people from my tribe or all tribes, because people from all tribes feel.
Well, we know there's a lot that has to go with everybody, but this is the anniversary, the 100-year burning destruction of Black Wall Street, right?
Right on.
So what do Black people need to move forward? Black people are constantly in the media with negative videos being shown of people with some Karen incident, with some police shooting. It's like you're seeing negativity directed towards the Black community so much, and we're trying to So I understand reaching across the aisle, seeing how they do it. What's successful over there is what you're saying. What have the Asian community done that's successful that we can partner with, emulate, or what has the Hispanic community or Latinx community and these different things. And so that's a very easy thing to look at and see, because we can see greatness when we see greatness that's working. Okay, you guys have a thriving community right here, East Tulsa. You know what I mean? We know what they're doing, and they have their individual levels of greatness for their community and legacy and generational wealth coming about from the family being able to own businesses and pass down businesses inside the flea markets, inside the gas station, grocery stores.
Right.
A lot.
Right. Yeah. The biggest thing going forward, I believe, for our Black community is a greater, and I think we are a greater awareness of self. And we are. That's why we're doing all of this.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Step one, the respect and the awareness. Okay.
Greater awareness of self and respect for self. Because once you could do that, then you could start, having conversations. Because I think it's a lack of having conversations why we're here. Because nobody's willing to listen, because it's a subjective thing. And that is, again, probably partisan. All my friends are Black, all my friends are white, all my friends are Asian, or whatever the case. I stay in my corner because I'm more comfortable there. Growth is uncomfortable.
Yeah, you got to
You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. And people who are at the realms, or the reigns, or behind the scenes, and people are not. A lot of those people in our tribe are partisan. They're not willing to listen and they are, but they're not willing to move because they're subjective.
You brought up partisan from the beginning of this conversation. So I want to ask you, as far as partisan goes, politically, what party or what are your political belief system? What is your political belief system? Are you a Democrat? Are you Republican? Are you Libertarian? Are you?
I'm Devin.
You're Devin?
Yeah, I'm Devin. And I know all these different factions are warring for my rental space in my head, and I'm always careful of the my landlords.
Yeah,
right. And none of these political factions, none of these political factions will be my landlords. No. I'm aware. I'm aware. Yeah. I'm aware of everything that's going on, because that's the only way I'm able to navigate and make an educated choice. But none of these political parties will get a booth. No, none of those things. That will never happen.
I'm an independent, my man. That's why it was important for me to ask you that, because you kept bringing up partisan, and we're not gonna get into politics. It's that time. It's our time here, man. I want to give you any last words you want to tell the audience, man. How can they get in contact with you? They need some insurance.
Right.
They need to protect their family for the future. They need to leave $500,000 to their princess.
Right. Yeah. You could find me at get your phones out, 918-816-1299. That's my cell number. Again, that's 918-816-1299. Or you could find me on Facebook at Devon Murray.
Or spell it out, because
DEVONMURRAY. Or you could find me on Insta at The Real Devon Murray, REALDEVONMURRAY.
There you go, man. Devon Murray, man. Appreciate you coming on the show. I gotta have you back. You got a great perspective, man, and we got a lot more to talk about, because to rebuild Black Wall Street. The mindsets. We need to get to step one. Everybody has so many great ideas, but you can't get to 5 without passing 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we need to understand step one. We need to digest it. We need to really hold on to it, build upon that.
We got to build first person singular. I first. Because if that's not, the individual is the atom to the whole. So if the individual is not, let's say, let me use an ambiguous term here. If the individual is not well, I really believe the whole won't be well. So even if we're spreading a narrative of joy and splendor, if the individual himself is not a clean vessel, So we've got to work on self first.
Fruit of the poisonous tree, if you go to legal terms, you know what I
Here
mean?
we
You
go.
can't bear prosperous fruit
In bad land,
if on bad
in
land.
fertile soil.
There you have
Here we
it.
go. We got to get the soil right. We got to grow organically inside, and everybody could do that. We have to be willing to be vulnerable and be uncomfortable and understanding everything I've been knowing for the last 67, 12, 13, 4, 5, 10, 30 years. It's not everything. There's other things out there. There's another way of doing stuff.
We're about to wrap it up. Don't be afraid to grow. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. What you think about is what you bring about.
Yep.
Man, love to have you on the show, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Y'all remember, man, Negro Nights, Sunday, 8 p.m., KBOB 89.9 FM. What's up over there, man? Look at him. We got to take care of us. Love and blessings.